Hello, I'm David, the spirit in the raw. I bring you channeled messages downloaded as automatic writing from the source. These messages are designed to trigger you in the awakening process and hasten your journey into your next reality. Hello and welcome to podcast number 14. I've got two downloads for you in this podcast. The first one is called Past Lives, and the second is What is a Channel? Let's begin with the first one, which was downloaded, Past Lives, on the 29th of March 2008. And so it goes, okay, let's talk about past lives. Although conventional thinking would like us to ignore, reject, deny our memory, awareness, and belief in past lives, their influence continually impacts who we are and the patterns we follow. When your relationship from past lives arrive in the present, it's difficult to ignore them. People of all ages and cultures meet with you like long-lost friends and with understanding and knowing of you that it is just too intimate to be coincidence. These past relationships return for many reasons. Some to join you in a grand quest or because of some covenant made. Some because they have unfinished karmic business with you. When you meet them, these old souls, these children who have knowing and aura of being here before, you can look into the centre of their being and know. The window is the eyes. You look in and you'll know. All pretense is gone. On a personal note, my youngest daughter Stephanie just knows stuff about me that only my grandmother knew. She even called me the nickname my grandmother used for me. When my father died at 84 years of age, my wife noted how I instantly took on more of his essence. In a way, my voice sounded, in the shape of my face, and my general physical demeanour. At first, I rejected this as just being fanciful. But each day, as I looked in the mirror, I'd see my father staring back. Maybe he was holding essence of mine, and now it had been returned. I don't feel diminished by this experience, really the opposite, energised and more complete. So I believe my father returned energy and essence to me. I'm often woken from a daydream, remembering a past experience or a possible coexistence, a connection to a parallel existence. A natural tendency is to deny or dismiss these thoughts as just imagination running wild. A side effect of watching too much TV. But when you listen to your inner being, you can and do distinguish the difference between mindless thought and memory. Why are you here? What is your greater purpose, your contribution? Have you tried to discover it, or are you just keeping your head down and getting along by going along? Recently, in Australia, the government sponsored a campaign to encourage citizens to spy on their neighbours with the camera in their mobile phones. The government has set up a system to enable their spying citizens to report on behaviour of their neighbours and community, just like the Nazis of the 1930s, all justified under the guise of helping the government catch criminals and prevent further crime. I'm sure many Australians will get along with this new restriction in their lives by going along with the invasion of their privacy. So no longer can you present yourself in public or private place in Australia without running the risk of being recorded by somebody's mobile phone and accused of breaking a law, maybe one you don't even know exists. What if the law you are accused of breaking is in fact immoral, draconian, unfair, inappropriate, or created by a false government, a dictator? In Australia, and I suspect in many countries, more and more laws are enacted in parliaments to further control, restrict and shut down the freedoms of the population. especially for their own good. I wonder if it really is for their own good or any good at all. Information, full disclosure, and the unfettered distribution of information, no matter how hard the organised media works to control information, flavour it or manipulate it, multiple views are still able to be expressed. And something even more important is going on. We are becoming more conscious, and one is therefore able to distinguish truth from hype and rhetoric. When you listen to your higher self, it can identify the energy in multiple messages that you receive each day. Your inner filters can even separate the interference from all electronic media in many forms and go straight to the essence of any message. That essence is always carried in the intent, and it's the message's intent that will deliver to you the truth of the message. The process is always independent of the words used in the message and even the language it's delivered in. Try it. Open your heart and soul to the essence of any message you receive and feel its intent. Once I think you understand that the intent of a message is what the message is always all about, you'll be able to truly use your discernment. The second download is called What is a Channel? It was received on the 30th of March 2008. Let's begin. To channel is simply to open up your consciousness to the universal mind, to your connectedness to all that is, and to hear the truth and allow your being to understand the messages and the input triggers they provide you and others for greater understanding of this process we call evolution. The evolution of the species involves the evolution of the planet, the solar system, and the complete reality, as no part is independent of the rest. Rather, each part is dependent on the rest, and your role is clearly to awaken as many as possible to this understanding. As each individual accepts responsibility for their and this reality, then they will understand their ability to create whatever world they wish to live in. You are creating the reality now. You are part of the creation, and creation is part of you. There is no right or wrong, just creation, action, opinion, and belief. So what is the prime message? We are all on a journey, and each path is slightly different. Each path needs to be honoured. Each traveller needs to be honoured. Each traveller is part of the whole, and the whole of this reality. And it is on a journey, and this reality is on a journey of growth, development, and evolution. You can't escape, and you can't refuse to participate. For being is participating, and every being is participating in the creation as a whole. What you think, believe, and act upon acts upon you and your place in the reality. It reflects your denials and your beliefs. It reflects your understanding, fears, and it manifests both. This manifestation is instant, but sometimes the observation of the manifestation has a lag time, and that lag time can be minutes, weeks, years, or lifetimes, even several lifetimes, as time is just a concept, not a limitation. This is more, just on a personal note, this is more something I live rather than believe. It's like an understanding rather than an exception. It's just how it is. These little gems will be channeled highlights against the story you tell in your book, and some will love them and be triggered by them, while others will simply ignore the messages as they can't see them yet. How amazing it is to watch these messages flow. I see them and I know their truth, yet I still have doubts. It's just human being thing to have these doubts, because you've been trained not to trust your true feelings and understandings, especially when those understandings fly in the face of conventional thinking. But trust them you must. You are the secret of all survival, listening to your inner voice, understanding the messages and acting on them. You can and should do that now. That is the end of the 2 downloads. The next podcast I'm going to deliver is called Turbulent Times, and we certainly are living in those. But this was told quite some years ago, but it's a prediction of where we are right now. I'm sure you'll find it interesting. Again, if you like what you're hearing and you want to build the community, please hit the subscribe button and share with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you next time.